If niggas would have apologized, I would have reconsidered even speaking on this.
Oy vey. Hi, hello, I am back. And we are going to have this conversation about Tylil and Jourdin. Now, if you follow me on my TikTok, you would see that last week I did a video, just an overall video about the streamer awards and the aftermath of everything that's been happening from the streamer awards. I lightly touched on the Jourdin and Tylil situation because A, we don't have all the facts. We only heard one side. And B, if this is taking the legal route, we'll find out the truth at some point. I did specify I'm not here to confirm or deny whether anything is true or not, whether something is a fact or not. However, I did identify why people would be able to think Tylil actually did this without actual evidence that he did this. Now, I know what some of y'all are thinking, like, oh, she's a female, you're a girl, why you just don't believe her, blah, 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 blah. And I'm openly going to say that as someone who has dealt with sexual assault numerous times as a teenager, I can also identify in my waking life that there are women out here who will lie about something as serious as this. And I do identify the fact that sometimes you cannot believe all women. So in this video, I'm kind of going to be breaking down my opinion about the whole situation since Tylil just came out and talked about his side of the story, and he also had receipts. So I will be diving in on that. But I also want to show you guys what I had said previously in my video in regards to this situation between the two. I just want to be as transparent as possible in my thought process in all of this. I'm not here to say I believe anybody or I don't believe anybody, but this is some shit. So this girl I've never heard of, don't know where she is, but apparently she's like a Guyanese pop singer. Her name is Jourdin. She came out on a stream and said that at the Streamer Awards, Tylil was essaying her, making her uncomfortable. And while when she was recounting the story, she didn't say anything, but she showed a call log of just Tylil calling her over and over and over and over again. And that comes after she said that she was being blackmailed and having her phone harassed and all this other stuff. So now the only thing when it comes to Tylil is the reason why this is not that difficult to believe, because let us also remember he got this boost in visibility because his sister was groping Michael Rainey Jr. on his stream behind his back. So when you have that level of history and now it's being pointed at you, I can understand why people outside of this would, call you out. And then at the Streamer Awards, when that girl made that comment towards Kai and you jumped on the mic, be funny, giving that energy, yeah, I can see why people would believe that you're the one that did that. Not saying that's what I believe, but I'm also seeing it from two sides of it, right? Which also goes into what I was saying about how streamers lack these social cues and lack a lot of social skill. I'm from New York, but in a situation like that, in a setting where it's supposed to be professional because it's an award show, I'm not going to be crashing out like that. You got to hold that shit together. Not everything is worth a moment. Not everything is worth a reaction. Apparently, Jourdin went to the police about this. Tylil came out and said that he's never essayed anyone. So he denies the allegations. But Tylil needs to have a little bit more self-awareness and to be cool these next couple of months while this whole investigation is going through. So as you can see, I didn't take a particular stance on this situation. However, I did say Tylil needs to change his behavior. And I'll dive in a little bit more about that towards the end of the video. But for right now, let's start getting into Tylil's part in all of this. So yesterday, he came out on his stream and said that he was going to be telling everybody the truth of what actually happened that night. So Tylil starts off addressing this whole, he tried to lure me to come with him, blah, blah, blah. He says that, yeah, she did leave, but she came back at her own accord. She then saw Tylil and his hairstylist leaving the Streamer Awards, to which then she asked to get into his Uber. Nobody coerced her, nobody forced her, nothing. She asked on her own accord because she wanted to hang out. Tylil said that when they got there, she asked to use the bathroom. He let her go. And then everything after that was consensual between two adults. So he does admit that they did have sex, but underlyingly, he does admit that he did cheat on his girlfriend. He said that essentially everything was doing fine, everything was going well up until the point that his girlfriend called. He says that he has evidence of it, and we're going to review the evidence.
When my partner called, Jourdin started acting crazy. She got really aggressive, and she was acting weird. She made me uncomfortable, and that's what made me start recording to protect myself. Let me make it very clear right now. I have never recorded no sex tape of Jourdin. That was also false.
I've never had a one-night stand in my life.
What is a one-night stand?
Like after the party type shit, when you first meet someone, and you don't talk to them.
So that's what we just had.
Did we just have a one-night stand?
No. As long as we cool about it, that's not a one-night stand. I said, as long as we speak about it, it's not a one-night stand.
It's so many days after tomorrow.
So now that you heard from his lips what happened and you saw that video footage, which awkward, he was fresh from getting some booty, like dang. That video depicted a totally different thing than what she said on her screen. On her stream, excuse me.
He stopped anyways because I started boohoo crying, you guys. I was crying and he taped me as I'm crying like this. He was like, why are you crying? Da, 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 da. And I'm like, because like I didn't want to like, you know, and he's like, oh, well, I'm going to talk to you again. I'm like, I don't care if you talk to me again. It doesn't matter if you talk to me again. It's the simple fact of like me not wanting to even go down that route because you have a fucking girlfriend.
I think the thing that's annoying me the most about that clip is the fact that she took bits and pieces of what was actually said in what the video that Tylil had. She took bits and pieces of that conversation and flipped it to fit her, I don't want to say narrative, but her perspective of what happened that night. And the fact that she took bits and pieces from that conversation and he showed the conversation that they had, I feel like I'm more inclined to believe his version because he has the actual evidence of that conversation they had. Also want to point out the fact in her stream, she drew a lot of references to his girlfriend. Oh, he has a girlfriend. I didn't want to do this anyway because you have a girlfriend. I didn't want to go down this route because you have a girlfriend. Like, he has a girlfriend. I told his girlfriend. It's a lot of references to his girlfriend, which kind of raised a red flag for me. Because if someone essayed me in that moment, in just period, I'm not thinking about someone's girlfriend. I'm thinking about the fact that I was violated. Like, somebody's girlfriend is not going to be in the forefront of my mind. What's in the forefront of my mind is that my body was used, was violated, was disrespected. And the reason I can't think about the girlfriend is because she has nothing to do with this. You know, let's just say in this situation, she got nothing to do with this. She don't even know what's going on. So my thing is I'm going to take the proper route and go to the police, do the kit, do whatever I got to do. And then once all this evidence come back, then I can talk to the girlfriend. But she was making too many references to this girlfriend before even telling us that she took it to the police. I also want to note, she only came out and told us that she took it to the police after everybody was in her comments saying, well, why do you keep coming to social media about it? Shouldn't you be going to the police? In her stream, she didn't mention taking this to the police. This was a message or a Instagram story where she announced that she went to police. So there's aspects of the things that she was doing, that she was saying, and her actions that are very, very weird. So now we get to the whole Uber thing. He said that in the morning she wanted to go. So he said, okay, no problem. I'll call you an Uber. He calls her an Uber. She goes downstairs. She sees that it is a regular Toyota Camry that came to pick her up. She was disgusted by seeing this Toyota taking her home. And she went upstairs to tell him, who do you think I am? You think I'm a Toyota bitch? Jokes. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to give me an Uber Black so I can go home. To which, very weird to do, because if someone just sexually assaulted me, I'm not about to be sitting here and arguing back and forth about the type of car that my assaulter is sending me home in. Matter of fact, wouldn't even need him to buy me a car. The second that he gets up to maybe just go piss, go brush his teeth, go do something, I'm dipping. Like, I'm out. But it's the fact that she went back upstairs, complained about a Toyota, and then decided now's the perfect time for me to leave because he got me an Uber Black. Another red flag. And that Uber cost $132. It's a little better than me. I would have been like, if you don't get your scrawny ass in that goddamn car, the fuck is wrong with you? I don't care how rich I am. You gonna do what makes sense. You only driving 30 minutes. Hello. And then I would have flipped it and said, ain't you supposed to be some level of a celebrity? Wouldn't it make more sense for you to just be in a Toyota? Because nobody's going to think you're in a Toyota. Less people being concerned about you driving around. Like, get your ass in that car. Also, just realized I was showing the screenshot of the Uber Black. Here's the screenshot of him getting that Toyota, and he canceled it because that's not what she wanted. Do you see? She literally made him cancel the ride with the Toyota to get her home for her safety because she was just assaulted. Remember? Canceled that ride to give her an Uber Black. Very weird behavior. And like, once again, as someone who has dealt with sexual assault multiple times, just as majority of women have, you cannot sit here and say that that's not weird behavior. Like, there's nothing that would justify her acting like this. So as we move along, please keep these timestamps in mind. You have December 7th, which is a Sunday, 8:07 in the morning. She got home at 8:40 in the morning, okay? So Tylil continues, and he said that when she got back, she texted his friend. The message, which says Sunday, December 7th at 9:10 a.m. Hey, Tylil has my phone. I'm on my way to get it back. I was all the way home too. And so the friend is like, okay, because what did you want the friend to do? Then she follows up and says, somebody got to call me a car back home now. Folded arm emoji and then whatever that picture is underneath. And then once again, if someone essayed me, I'm not going back. Why would I put myself back in that danger? Next, if you're already home, what's the point of you texting this to someone else? What's the point of you texting this to his friends? You're already home. So what was the plan here? And then the next question I have is, you texted his friend about a phone. Why didn't you just contact Tylil? Because I can't imagine how you would have his friend's phone number before you would have his phone number. So why didn't you just text Tylil and say, hey, I think you have my phone. Can you check and see if you got it? I'm positive this man would have been looking for her phone. Like, I understand Tylil is aggressive and shit. That's his New York nature and whatnot. But I do not remotely think that man would not have helped her try to find a phone. And I feel like the only reason she texted the friend is because she needed some level of an alibi. I also have this assumption that she thought that she would be able to get away with this because Tylil has a girlfriend. Hence why she keeps referencing the girlfriend. Because he has a girlfriend, he's probably going to delete all the messages and any evidence of him possibly cheating on her. So ain't no way in hell he's going to have all these messages, so I can spin it any way I want to. Like I said, I'm not accusing anybody of doing anything. I'm just giving my opinion based on the evidence that is being presented. And Jourdin, this is not looking good for you. You got home at 8:40. You was dropped home at 8:40. And then here's the other thing I don't understand either. How are you this level of a international star? You are some level of a pop singer that got like songs on the charts and whatever the case is. You ain't got no money to get yourself home. You ain't got a big account to get yourself home. You don't have a team member or a friend or somebody that could have given you money to get you home. Once again, you ain't got no money to get home. There's been several streams of you hugged up with Ben Dadon. That man couldn't send you money to get you home. Like, I'm quite confused. And this be some of the reason why I be telling y'all girls to stop thinking you are entitled to a man's fucking pockets. Get your own fucking money so you don't have to sit here and ask for anything from a man. Even if that man is your man and your husband or whatever the case is, you're still not entitled to that individual's fucking pockets. Because at the end of the day, even in a relationship, you are an individual. You need to have your fucking own. You should never allow a man to leave you stranded or leave you hanging, leave you hungry, nothing. Because you should be able to provide for yourself. Because even in a relationship, you still have to take care of yourself. I just can't believe it. Like, man. Let me move on. So even though he was sharing some of these screenshots, especially in this part, kind of out of order, I'm just going to go in chronological order of the timestamps. So she got home. Tylil was off doing whatever, right? She texted him, "What are you doing?" Then when he didn't answer, she followed up at 12 o'clock on the dot with a question mark and then said, "I don't know if you texted me or not, but my phone is clipped. I can't see or do nothing." So remember, she said Tylil had her phone. It seems like she got her phone. But this is kind of where the blurry line is for me, where there is some question. Because it's like, okay, if she didn't have her phone, where was it? Tylil, did you accidentally have her phone? And did you send it back to her? Whatever the case, like, there's moments of like where there's a long space in between timestamps that are not explained. And I'm hoping as we get more evidence down the line, we'll get these little moments or pockets of emptiness answered. But moving on. My bad. I said this was at 12 o'clock. I meant to say it was at 9. I was reading the next text after that. My bad. So this was 9 at night, the same day that he got her an Uber to take her ass home. Same morning of them bumping booty holes. Still trying to talk to him and contact him. Now, remember in that clip he showed in the beginning of her kind of complaining about the fact like, oh, I've never had a one-night stand, because usually with one-night stands, you never speak to the person again. And then she's complaining about, oh, well, you saying you're going to talk to me. That could be days later. Da, 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 da. So now you follow up and like you're constantly texting him, getting no response. This is leading up to something. Definitely leading up to something. So now the next day at 12 o'clock on the dot, she sends an upside down smiley face. She doesn't get a response once again. Nothing. So now this is where it was a little bit out of order, because he showed this screenshot before showing what I was just showing y'all. Those text messages between the two. But like I said, I'm just going in chronological order. The last text that she sent was at 12:01 p.m. of the upside down smiley face. Timestamp here is 12:19 p.m. December 8th. That's a Monday, might I add. Now here we are at 12:19. She's sending him a Zelle request for $2,000. And what does the fucking note say? For playing with me. You ask him to send you $2,000 for playing with you? If that does not sound like a level of like aggression, threatening, whatever the case is, then I don't know what to tell you. Someone who is a victim of sexual assault is not going to sit here and ask a man to send her money. She's going straight to the fucking doctor to get a rape kit, to submit it to the police officers and the detectives, and to file a police report. But you know why she didn't do that? Because in her mind, she was hoping that he would have continued to talk to her after he done fucked the brains out of her. Hence why she's looking for this response from him. She keeps texting him. She keeps talking to him. And she's getting annoyed at the fact that he's not responding to her. Because anybody who texts, you know the reasons why you're sending that upside down smiley. You send that when things don't make sense. You send that when you're getting aggravated. You send that when you're trying to be sarcastic or whatever the case is. There's a multitude of reasons why you send that. She is trying to set him up. It was at this point in his stream that he literally got emotional, starts crying, and literally breaks down. Because all the things that she was alleging he was doing to her, she was actually doing to him. To which makes sense, because hence why she took pieces of the conversation they had in that bed and flipped it.
Ow! Look at what it say, Chad. Jourdin sent me Jourdin requested 2,000, and then in the note it says for playing with me. And not trying to blackmail her. She's trying to extort me, gang. She's blackmailing me. She's lying on me, bro. That shit is fucked up. She's lying on me, trying to destroy my image, bro. I got a niece. I got a mother. I got a fucking sister. She fucking trying to blackmail me. I got a niece. She trying to blackmail me. I got a niece. oh my God. This shit is right here, it said. Yo, it says a Zelle request.
Oof, that was an intense reaction, but no tea, no shade. He's very valid to have this type of reaction. A lot of people say that he overreacts, he gets too emotional, he gets too aggressive, but he has every reason to feel this way in this moment. He has every right to quote unquote overreact, to scream, get aggressive, because this woman is trying it. So now continuing with the chronological order, if you look here in this text message, she sends another message that same day, Monday, December 8th, at 3 p.m.-ish at this point. And it's a picture of Jocelyn. And it says, when you give him one more warning before you let him know who the real you are or who the real you is. Please forgive me if I jumbled up the words. I'm reading this from my CapCut and the words are really small, so forgive me. But the sentiments is still there. She's essentially threatening this man. She asked for money, he didn't get it, and now she's saying, okay, you're not gonna give me what I want? Well, guess what? Now I'm gonna show you what I really do behind the scenes and shit. And she's dumb as fuck. You know why? Because all he gotta do is show this text message alongside that screenshot of you sending a Zelle request. Your case is close and done, sweetheart. That would be enough for his lawyers to sit here and poke through all of your stories, all of these screenshots, all of everything that he has. You're losing this case, this court case. I don't know which other way someone could tell you that. You're gonna lose it. Because it's very evident that what you're doing is coming from a place of manipulation. And let's just say you did get this rape kit done, right? And it shows, okay, yeah, his DNA's on her, whatever the case is, blah, blah, blah. We got to charge him. You would probably still get some level of a charge or some level of something because you did try to extort this man. That is a crime. That is a crime. You're giving out all of these threats, and depending on the time frame of when you got this rape kit done or when you went to talk to police, whenever you submitted any of these reports, if this came before you went to the police, baby girl, you're cooked. You're cooked, you're cooked, you're cooked, and you're a lying ass bitch. Let's call it for what it is. And I'm going to say the quiet part out loud at the end, but let's continue with everything. So now let's just do a quick recap before we get to the end of his video, right? Streamer awards party, she left, she came back to the party. In the wee hours of the morning, she sees Tylil leaving with his friend or a hairdresser, and she wants to get in his car. I didn't mention this before, but he did offer to take her home, and she said, nah, I gotta use the bathroom anyway. So he allows her to come up to his hotel room so she can use the bathroom. They have sex. He catches her on video complaining about the fact that, oh, we had a one-night stand. You're probably not gonna talk to me after this, whatever the case is. This is the wee hours, the early mornings of December 7th. She gets an Uber at 8 o'clock in the morning, complains that she don't want to be in a Toyota. She needs the high-end Uber, which is an Uber Black. She gets home at 8:40 in the morning. She texts a friend saying that, oh, he has my phone. I need to go back to his house. He's not really responding to any of her text messages throughout the day. She's asking what is up. Oh, if you're texting me, I can't see, blah, 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 blah. He's not responding to her. So now here we are, Monday, December 8th, and she texts him at 12, seeking some level of a text from him or some level of communication. He doesn't respond. So she sends him a Zelle at 12 o'clock. He doesn't answer once again. So now hours go by after this Zelle. He doesn't pay her. Now she's threatening to kind of essentially ruin his life because he's not giving her any attention or any play. You see how this is all sounding fucking crazy on her part? Someone who's such a victim, who got on her stream and was crying, saying that, oh, I don't give my body to anybody. I'm crying, I'm this, and that. And oh my God, nobody believes. And oh my God, I can't believe he did this to me. And he's trying to blackmail me and blah, 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 blah. Jourdin is not looking good for you, girl. In fact, it's looking terrible. Because she doesn't just stop after this photo with Jocelyn threatening this man. To which I'm going to say the quiet part out loud. I think she sent him this Zelle and then sent all this picture of Jocelyn because she was seeking some level of a reaction from him. Even though he wasn't responding to her, I feel like she expected him to give a response to the fact that she sent a Zelle for $2,000. She wanted to talk to this man again. That's exactly what the fuck she wanted to do. Because as you can see, it's a bunch of gray. He's not giving her any responses, but she keeps looking for one, and she's not getting one. Now, once again, I acknowledge we was not there. We're not in their phone. We wasn't in the room, all that other stuff. But from what is being provided here, Jourdin, you look thirsty. But once again, I'm going to give my actual thoughts at the end. Let's continue. So she doesn't stop at this Jocelyn Hernandez meme that's essentially threatening him. She sends another text that says, don't let this world get to your head and lose your moral compass, because at the end of the day, we all have to deal with God. And if you know something made me feel a certain way, instead of trying to throw rocks and hide your hands, you should have tried to fix it immediately, and this could have been swept under the rug. Don't be mad that your girl found out what type of man you are. She should have known that she should have known that that's nobody's fault but yours. I always walk in love, and I wish you and her nothing but the best. No bullshit. God bless you too. Like I said, y'all, I'm reading this from CapCut, and the text is small. I promise y'all I know how to read. I promise. But I'm taking issue with this message because first things first, she's not explicitly saying what he did. Like, that's what's getting me. I would hope she would explicitly tell him what her issue is. Next, she literally sounds like she's mad she's not getting attention. Because you should have fixed this. This could have been swept under the rug. What is there to fix, Jourdin? I'm confused. Like, I almost want to take this a little bit more as a threat. Because you just sent him that Jocelyn Hernandez thing. And it's like, well, you knew I had a problem and you didn't give me the money. All you have to do is just give me the money. And this could have been swept under the rug. I wouldn't have said nothing like that. That's the energy I'm getting from this. It's giving very like manipulation. I always walk in love and I wish you and her nothing but the best. No BS. Once again, referencing this girlfriend. You went and told his girlfriend that you had sex with him. Which, all in all, is not a crime in itself. But you have this weird energy when it comes to the fact that he has a girlfriend. I almost want to believe that she didn't know he had a girlfriend, which is why she's upset about it. But once again, if a man essayed me, the immediate thought that I have is to A, not blackmail him, extort him, anything. 2, wouldn't want to talk to him anyhow. 3, go get my rape kit done, fill out a police report, and let the rest of my legal team handle it. She's looking for a reaction from him. Because I'm still trying to figure out what's there to fix. What am I fixing? I already fixed it. I sent your ass home and spent $132 for you to take a 30-minute drive back to your goddamn house. What is there to fix? We don't have an issue. We had sex. You went home. What you want from me? But wait, there's more from Jourdin. If you had chosen integrity from the start, the situation would have never escalated. The reaction you're facing now is a consequence of your choices, not mine. Your girlfriend seeing your actions ain't my fault. I've never lied to get anything in life. If I wanted drama, I would have ignored your call and gone straight to social media. But that's not who I am. I believe in God, accountability, and moving with love even when I'm hurt. I'm not asking for anything except acknowledgement. A real apology matters. To which her even saying that just proved exactly what the hell I said. She sent that $2,000 because she's seeking some level of like a response from him. She just wanted acknowledgement. She wanted to be seen by him. She wanted to be around him. Because once again, acknowledgement and an apology for you violating my body doesn't change the fact that you literally violated me. Like, what? She was willing to just sweep this under the rug if he just gave her some attention. Now, there's a piece of what she was saying that was true. If he had integrity, this wouldn't have happened. To which, yeah, if you had the integrity to tell this bitch to take her ass home when she came to your house and she came out that bathroom and said, okay, I used the bathroom. Great. Now take your ass home. And he chose to not cheat as opposed to like just following what his dick wanted at the time, this would have never happened. He would have never came in close proximity with her. This would have never happened. But that's not even the main part of this. And that's something that I want to talk about is the fact that there's too many people focused on the fact that he cheated. And the reason why I'm paying very little mind to that aspect is because we already knew Tylil was a cheater. Didn't one of his homeboys just out him because he cheated? So it was like, this is not news. Yeah, he's a cheater. What do you expect? Y'all always be out here saying once a cheater, always a cheater. Okay, we knew he's probably going to cheat again. Next. And that's not going to cloud my vision and my mental from knowing that she's probably lying. She's trying to ruin this man's career because he treated her exactly how he should have treated her. She's just a one-time thing. Get out my face. I'm not asking for anything except acknowledgement. But you asked him for $2,000. You asked him to get you an Uber home. You asked him for attention. You asked him for a lot of things, actually. Because for you to not ask for anything, you would have got yourself home. You wouldn't be concerned about talking to this man again. You wouldn't be concerned about none of the shit that you was over here complaining about. But yeah, here you are. Jourdin, oh my God. So let me share my final thoughts on this. I'm going to say exactly how I feel about this situation. And it might rub some feathers, but from what I'm seeing, her reaction, the things she's saying and all this other stuff, this is exactly what I think it is. She was moving like a hoe. She's upset she got played. So now the only way for her to not appear as a hoe is to sit here and tell the world that this man essayed her. And she's taking advantage of the fact that, one, if you hear a woman and essaying the same sentence, more than likely society is going to just believe her and not take into accountability that man's story. Two, all of these streamers was just coming down on Clover Boys, Kyson, and all these other people for the behaviors that was taking place at the Streamer Awards. So they're already looking at Tylil as a bad guy because he was mad aggressive on that microphone. And three, he's a black man that got aggression. So to hear that this black man did something to a female, not surprising. So this was easy for her to warp and twist around to make it work in her favor. Next, after searching up a couple videos of her, it's not like she hasn't been around a bunch of streamers before. She streams herself. She's been around DDG. She's oftentimes been seen with Ben Dadon to the point that people thought they were together. She was around Jay Cinco. She was around Rakai. And then I remember, or if I remember correctly from the videos I saw, she was begging somebody to let her into the AMP pool party. So she purposely wants to center herself around these people because, you know why? The Clover Boys, AMP, they're all really famous, popular streamers. And yes, maybe for her career, considering clearly she don't got money to get herself the fuck home or do anything, she don't have the energy and the juice to just be having her in these AMP pool parties. She needed the elbow rub from these niggas. And that's also something else I want to address really quick, because a lot of people on TikTok and whatever the case is was like, well, when has a woman ever benefited off of the fact that she reported that she was sexually assaulted by someone? And yes, that is very factually true. No woman has ever gotten clout off of the fact that she was sexually assaulted by someone. However, there's more times than none evidence that a woman would use that to give herself a peace of mind, so she's not viewed as a whore. Let us remember, she's the one that's been going on everybody's stream and saying that she's asexual. Even when she was trying to recount the story with Tylil, she is the one that was divulging the information of the fact that she's asexual and her body is a temple.
Guys, you guys know I'm asexual. I keep my body to myself for a reason. I am a temple.
This has been the branding and the thing that she's been telling people this entire time. But if everybody found out that she sat here and she fucked Tylil, that would literally go against everything she was saying. And she know that if she gets into a room with these men like DDG and Jay Cinco that she told, and Ben Dadon, that she told that she's asexual and she don't do this and she don't do that, they're going to question her about it and make fun of her about it. And she don't want that for herself. I think she did this because she is genuinely embarrassed by the fact that A, she's not as valuable as she thinks she is. Two, Tylil's not giving her no attention. You was a one-night stand. You knew you was a one-night stand. You said it when you was in the bed with him. You was a one-night stand. You was just a quick fuck. And then you leave. And now the whole industry is going to know that you sat here and was fucking on Tylil, even though you're telling everybody else that you don't be having sex because your body's a temple. Insane. We quite literally just came off the back end of seeing DoorDash girl get her ass locked the fuck up because she tried to say someone sexually assaulted her when she just so happened to walk up on a doorstep of a dude who was passed out, intoxicatedly drunk in his house. Did nothing. Like, police did investigation. They investigated this. They said this man didn't do anything wrong. He was extremely intoxicated and he passed out on the couch. From that point on, he didn't do anything to her. There's no evidence of sexual assault, nothing like that. But there is evidence of her showing you guys his winky on social media. had all these motherfuckers on social media, from Reddit to TikTok to Twitter, rooting for this DoorDash girl, saying, yeah, it was sexual assault, because who the fuck orders food and then goes to sleep? A lot of people do. Like, even there's been times that I've been damn near blacked out drunk, and all I did was put my head on the pillow, and the next thing I know, it was freaking 9 o'clock the next day. It happens. Some of y'all don't want to live in reality because it goes against this ideology you have that a woman can't be wrong about sexual assault. You literally have, like, historical evidence that women can possibly be telling lies about their sexual assault. We could start with Emmett Till. This white woman falsely accused him of, like, making this advance at her. His life was taken away from him. Just for us to find out later on, before this bitch died, she admit that little boy did nothing to her. She was just being a racist cunt. You can even take this to the Central Park 5. They were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. 5 teenage boys hanging out in Central Park. And because there was a white woman who was attacked and assaulted in Central Park, they roped up these 5 kids, got an illegal confession out of them, because it was just easier for the world to believe these 5 black boys jumped on this one white woman, despite her saying it wasn't these boys. What are y'all talking about? So much so that your president and fucking fat farm, you got President fucking Donald Trump putting a whole ad out in the newspaper calling for the death penalty for these fucking innocent children. This is why sometimes when women come out and say they were sexually assaulted, you have to wait to hear the evidence, because not every female out here is doing things with pure intentions. But now, here's the other layer to that. If society made women feel more comfortable being their normal sexual beings, you would hear way less cases of women lying about this stuff. I said it out loud. This is just my opinion. You can agree or don't agree. I don't care. But that's just how I feel. Society will literally kill a woman's career if they find out she has sex with more than 2 people. Women are sexualized from childhood, but yet they're not allowed to be sexual. And when y'all back these women or back women into a corner, because the idea that even if she has sex with one person that's out of wedlock and she just wanted to just have a night of having fun for herself, y'all hold her to the standard of, well, now you're a whore because you just fucking whatever and blah, blah, blah. Nasty. Now you made women feel like they had to lie about it, so y'all don't sit here and try to ruin their lives. Because once you hear someone is a hoe, that sticks with them for the rest of their life. Period, point blank. And when she was in her live and she was saying, like, when women come out about these things, women are often, like, exiled or treated differently. And she didn't tell a lie. If society was just honest about the nature and the makeup of women, you would see less issues. Because if you let a man tell it, men will say, well, women are not as sexual as men. Women shouldn't even be as sexual as men. Y'all should not be sexual deviants. Your job is to be home, have kids, do this, do that. When realistically, women get just as horny as men. But we're not allowed to be loud about it. It's a taboo for women to live in their sexual life. Amber Rose, she did a whole slut walk because she's like, why should I be ashamed for liking pleasure? Why? Because men want you to be sexual, but don't be sexual at the same time. Like, it's crazy. But this entire situation on its own is messy. I don't know who to believe. As of right now, I'm more inclined to believe Tylil, because the things that he's put out, and then also thinking about and reviewing her footage and what she said and stuff like this, her story sounds less believable. And in fact, the things that he has presented, I've now noticed she has taken bits and pieces of the actual story and flipped it so it would fit her narrative. Oh, I almost forgot to mention too, after Tylil did his video vindicating himself or trying to vindicate himself, she had an immediate response. He's still a rapist. God has the final say. He's seen and heard it all, and he don't play about me. The police got all the details, so stay tuned. Excuse me. That's another thing I want to address really quick. I'm gonna need y'all to keep God's name out your mouth in some of these situations. Because notice every time she's talking about this, she brings up God. Because another thing about it is society is always going to stand with the Christian woman and the Christian man. And There's always going to be some level of crazy religious psychosis person that's going to, God got you, babe girl. Ugh, it's so icky. If God got you so much, Jourdin, then why the hell did he give Tylil so much space to create doubt in your story? Now, when I say this, I'm not painting this as like God did something wrong. I am a Christian. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I just don't believe in the Bible. Jourdin, it seemed like God got you all right. He's showing us exactly who you are. There's enough digital footprint to really break down your entire persona. I also want to add the fact that after her first stream where she was telling what happened with Tylil, she said that she was done with the whole like streaming thing. She doesn't want to stream anymore. She's gonna stay off social media. She's gonna take care of herself. But sure enough, she has not been on social media. In fact, she's been picking around other people. She said something about Duke Dennis. She came at someone, I think his name was Baby Chris or whatever the case is. She made it something about him. Like, she gave a response to each and every person that had commentary about her video. Forgive me, I don't know some of these streamers, so I said his name wrong. His name is Baby Rich. I apologize. But in that first stream where she's retelling her sexual assault, she just kind of threw a little like jab at supposedly a friend, Baby Rich. When his name came up, she said, ew. So he responds to her. He's like, you've been telling everybody you so-called asexual, so you don't like either man or woman, but yet saying ew to me, but you didn't say ew to blank, blank, blank. I've never tried to talk to you ever. I thought we was friends. How you want someone to feel bad for you and this is how you come in? To which, yeah, I thought you was on taking yourself offline to take care of your mental and emotional because you're going to therapy for this, right? What part of therapy told you to sit here and watch people sit here and talk about this situation? And I've done therapy before. They would tell you to stay off social media and take the right steps and do a lot of self-care and be nice to yourself. That's not being nice to yourself. It just doesn't make sense. Why are you seeking out people's response to something that happened to you? I don't care about people's validation when it comes to something that happened to me personally. I was sexually assaulted and you want me to give a fuck about what everybody else think? They didn't sit here and experience what the fuck I experienced. So wait till I come out with these police reports. Then y'all can suck my dick. That would have been my mentality. But that's not the mentality Jourdin has. She's hoping somebody would believe her and back her up. But instead, she's starting beef with all these other streamers for no fucking reason. And it's streamers that she has been around, been on their streams, hung out with them, trying to get these elbow rubs from. So I just don't understand. What the fuck are you doing, Jourdin? And like, no, you definitely cannot tell someone how to react to something or how to act in certain situations. But I damn sure do have the right to sit here and question the things that she's doing. And like, even now, it's like you're actively on social media responding to Tylil's video about you. And it's like, go somewhere. You're going to repost someone saying normalize not explaining shit. Well, then why didn't you take that advice? Why didn't you take that advice? If you were sexually assaulted, you don't have to explain shit to nobody but the cops, the doctors, and maybe family members that you trust. You don't owe anybody an explanation when you are a victim of being violated. This is why I have to just question what was the motive here. Why? Because truly, what did this do for you? I really feel like you're just embarrassed that you was a fuck, and that's that. I'll also even throw in, like, maybe you didn't know he had a girlfriend, but since she called and like he said, you started acting weird, you're upset that now you're in this predicament of now knowing that you had sex with a dude that has a girlfriend. But you couldn't be that upset because you're still seeking out this level of attention and affection from him. I'm a freaking female that has several different experiences, and I still just don't understand you. I cannot subscribe to the just believe all women. I cannot subscribe to the don't question her. I have to question her when certain things that she's saying is not adding up. I will not be a part of the crowd that's willing to ruin somebody just because of a rumor or something off of her hurt feelings. We have to know or have a better level of discernment to know when someone is bullshitting and when they're not. And there should have been some level of, whoa, hold the fuck up. When she sat on her stream and said, if he just apologized, I would have never came on the internet. That alone said something is off about her. Because there would be nothing in this world to stop me from outing somebody for doing me dirt like that. Nothing. I'm sorry, Jourdin. Your career is about to be fucked. Nobody's going to want to talk to you. You won't be in no streamer party. You're not going to be around AMP or the Clover Boys or whoever the fuck you want to be around. No one is going to take you. You made this whole situation worse for yourself. You should have just took the dick and took it for what it is. Chalk it up to the game, because this happens all the time. People will have sex with someone and then they don't talk to each other the next day. It is what it is. Just chalk it up to the game. Be like, damn, I fucked up, and moved on and move on. I feel like you would have got way more respect for just putting it like that versus you doing this whole thing, because I just don't understand. But you're not the only person I'm going to come down on. Tylil, let's keep this a bean. You need to super duper be on your fucking P's and Q's, because you are in the middle of watching your whole crew get taken down by a bunch of other fucking streamers. Now, I'm not invalidating those other streamers' experiences with y'all. I don't know y'all from a can of paint. However, it does seem like when you have people like Iron Mouse coming out and making this ridiculous fucking like commentary in regards to Ray Rakai. You have this other dude, the stock guy, coming out here and saying Dez said that he was going to rape a girl. And you're watching this athlete take place. You need to be more on your P's and Q's. The next thing, as a fellow New Yorker, I'm from the Bronx. As a fellow New Yorker, you need to know how to act when you're in certain rooms and around certain people. You need to code switch immediately. All this aggressive, yeah, nigga, is cute in New York City. Is not cute any fucking where else. Like, you are around a bunch of other streamers that are not from where we are. You saying certain things to me, I'll understand it because I'm from New York and I know you don't mean it in that way. But when you going outside of New York, you have to understand they're not going to understand our lingo. They can steal it. They will never understand it. So you got to know when to turn that New York City shit off and know when to turn it on. When you're around A&P and the Clover Boys and all them niggas, you can keep that New York shit on. But when you're around bitches like Pauline and all these other streamers, like at the Streamer Awards, you got to turn that shit off. That's why you got so much backlash at the Streamer Awards, because you're letting your New York energy step up, even though you was just simply defending your friend. But now all they saw was, look at this aggressive New York black man. Ew. Don't know how to act. Blah, blah, blah. Which is why you're getting so much heat for this. Which is why people were able to believe that you was acting batshit crazy when it came to Jourdin. You have this aggressive energy that has no chill. And not only that, can we talk about your digital footprint? Even though it wasn't you that was committing the crime, your sister sexually assaulted an actor on your stream. And just like I expected, people on TikTok are like, well, this is what runs in his family. You see what his sister did. This is what runs in your family. What your sister did is now being thrown on you because now they think this is a repeated pattern coming from your household. Should have been on your P's and Q's then, nigga. Should have been on the P's and fucking Q's to make sure that shit don't come up ever again. And now that we know that you cheated on your girl, as if it wasn't just out of you was cheating on your girl a couple of weeks ago. Come on. Like, maybe this Jourdin situation is your karma from the constant nonsense you keep doing to your girlfriend, but get your shit together. Do I think inherently Tylil is a bad guy? No, I don't. I think he has a lot of growing to do. He's a young fucking kid. What is he, like 24, 25? He's young as fuck. He's still learning. He's in this streaming world. When you take niggas that come from nothing and you throw them into this world where now they have access to things they never thought they would have access to, sometimes they don't know how to act. They don't know how to adjust to it. And I feel like he's still adjusting to the fact that now he's experiencing this level of fame that these little black boys and girls from New York City, from the Bronx, from Brooklyn, wherever the fuck he's from, couldn't fathom ever getting. And I said this in my actual TikTok video. There's this shift happening with AMP and the Clover Boys. And I knew this shift was going to come once that white man, the Twitch owner, said, yeah, Kai Cenat and iShowSpeed are not in my top, like in my Mount Rushmore of top streamers. Once that man said that, I knew there was going to be some level of an internal breakdown of these groups of people of color. Which is why I'm telling you, Tylil and Rakai and all these niggas gotta get their shit together. Y'all cannot continue to be the fucking local degenerates from New York City. Y'all gotta be above that shit. Because y'all niggas came from nothing, y'all got so much to fucking lose, and y'all need to get some PR training. Y'all need to get some speech classes, something, because you're not being accepted no more. Society has now let you know y'all are not gonna be the tipping point. Y'all are not going to continue to move needles for this industry. Fuck out of here, niggas. Now, like I said, I'm not here to invalidate anybody's experience with these guys, because I'm sure there are definitely times they've been wrong or been rude or been nasty or whatever the case is. But I just find it hilarious that right after the Twitch Awards, boom, everybody got an issue with AMP and the Clover Boys. Crazy to me. We're going to keep up with this. I just wanted to share my thoughts on this whole thing because it just didn't make sense to me. As a female, as a human being, I don't get it. My opinion is definitely subjected to change as we get more information. But as of right now, Jourdin, you need to shut the fuck up and go radio silent on your social media and stop responding to everything. Because what that tells people is that you're looking for something, like you're looking for the attention. You're enjoying the attention. You're looking to see people talking about you. Because even though you had some level of quote unquote clout to yourself, I didn't know about you prior to this situation. I didn't know much I had to look you up, which is why I'm finding out all this other information. No clue who you were. You have these millions of views on your social media. Never heard one of your songs. Never seen you anywhere. So it seems like you're getting a piece of a kick out of the fact that people are talking about you. Because good PR or bad PR, it's still PR for you. And people still make a lot of money off of bad stories about themselves. So not that I'm saying she's looking for clout, but I do think she's enjoying the response from all of this because now the story is about her. And like I said, from the videos that I've seen of her, it seems like she loves to hang on with the famous streamers and the Bendadons and the Rakais and the Kai. And it seems like she just enjoys being in the center of those rooms with those people. And then her story with Tylil just didn't even remotely somehow make sense either. There were aspects that made sense and then there were others that didn't make sense. And now that he's come out with his evidence, it seems like she's telling you bits and pieces of the truth to throw you off the tracks. I don't know. Like I said, my opinion can definitely change as we get more information. But right now, I'm just more inclined to believe Tylil. Let me know in the comments what you think. Like I said, this is just my opinion, so don't chew me up. Don't do nothing like that. I'm very open to having a discussion about this. So let me know what you think in the comments. Are you Team Jourdin or are you Team Tylil? Do you think Jourdin is telling the truth or do you think that she's lying? What are your thoughts about this? And maybe we could have a deeper discussion about society and women or how women act towards men or men act towards women. I just want this to be an open forum to possibly have a safer conversation about things that have to change so we can avoid issues like this. But thank you for watching. We will be following up as we get more information. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure to follow my other social media as well. That's listed in this right here. So yeah, see you in my next video. Bye.